What's up, witches? How we doing? It might be just what's up, witch? What's up? I know Cynthia was commenting in the news feed that she maybe had the time wrong. So Cynthia might be joining us. But it might be just me for right now. So I'm going to go ahead and get started so it's not too late. What's up, witches? Welcome to the December meeting of the Coven Book Club. Of course, today is Christmas. I am a filthy pagan, so that means not a lot to me except for a day to rest this year and wear my holiday pajamas. But I imagine a lot of our book club regulars are at Christmas festivities or traveling. So to all of you guys out there, stay safe, stay well, love to your families, all of that good stuff. We are convening today to talk about the December book, the last book of the Gregorian year for us. This is The Altar Within by Juliet Diaz. Excited to talk about this one, and we're going to get going into introductions. Perfect timing. Nisi's in the building. Very cool. Hopefully, Cynthia finds us. She was commenting. I think she was in here at the wrong time because, like an hour ago, like an hour ago in the newsfeed, she was like, "I've been in here for 35 minutes." I was like, "Girl, it's at 7 Eastern." But we have that time difference, and I think she might be traveling.
Yeah.
So she's probably all turned around because I think she's so we will go ahead. Let me put this back up on the screen as best I can in case anybody else joins us. So no one is confused. Okay, can you see that a little bit? Yes, okay,
I
awesome.
can see it.
Okay, cool. All right, I'm going to get into the intros, asking for name, location, and book progress. I am Allie, aka BronxWitch. I am located in the Bronx, New York, and I am actually listening to this book on Audible because they suckered me in with that free. They hit me with the first 3 months free situation, I think, or something like that.
That's how they get you.
Yeah, they got me. Don't worry though. I know when to cancel. I put that shit in my planner. I usually every once in a while I get caught, but usually I'm good about that. So I'll be canceling. But I was like, oh, let me take advantage. So I'm listening on Audible. I was listening all day today, and I think the thing says I'm about 2.5 hours in, and it's about 6.5 hours total. So a third to half of the way done with the book. All right.
All right. I am Shanice. Everyone calls me Nisi. I'm in Greenville, South Carolina. And I'm on page 103. So that is at believe that's chapter 10.
Oh, okay.
Look. Yeah, so chapter 10.
Okay. I think I'm on like 7 or 8 or something, or module 7 or 8.
Okay.
Welcome. So opening announcements, I will share with you book club, as I mentioned in support group, book club is on for next year. There is one single fruit fly in here, and it's been me and him all day.
Y'all been duking it out?
All day. I've been trying to cook. I've been trying to do all types of things. And it's just this one. It's really driving me crazy. But anyway, book club is a go for 2024. The book list for January through June has been posted in the news feed. I will be sending out emails to the general public this week, but you guys have the heads up. Book club is moving to the fourth Sunday of the month at 7:30 p.m. So mark your calendars. Instead of the fourth Monday, it'll now be the fourth Sunday. We like to move it around every year, every 6 months or so, try to give as many people the ability to tune in and participate. So fourth Sundays of the month at 7:30. Yes, we have also put together a book bundle, which I'm very excited about because I
I
was
saw
talking
that.
about this. Let me tell you, this was manifestation for me because I was talking about this literally when we first started book club back when it was on YouTube, and to now be able to send out all the books I'm very excited about. So we have put together the first 6 books of the year in a convenient and affordable bundle. Regular price would be about 116, but for you guys, it's just going to be 99.99. It's
That's
already available on the website. Yeah, you can decide what type of shipping you want, ground or like priority, what have you. If you are a Coven community witch, then I encourage you to also use your monthly discount code because that will get you an additional 15% off of that price. So
okay.
I would take advantage of that there. The June book is 78 Degrees of Wisdom by the late Rachel Pollack.
Mm.
That is a thickum. She's a thickums like a snickums.
Yeah, I
And
got it.
so, yeah, so we will be reading that one over the course of 2 months.
Okay.
Okay, so don't feel intimidated there. We'll be reading it for June and July, kind of like a summer break book, something we'll take the, bulk of the summer to get through. And that book, because those of you who get the first bundle will have it, there'll be an option when the second bundle comes out to get the bundle with that book or without that book.
Yeah.
So you won't have to get 2 of the books and pay for it twice if you don't actually want a second
Yeah.
copy. So there'll be 2 options there. And I'm really excited because Nuri is going to be taking over the administration of the book clubs. I'll be making every effort to be at each one, but the person who will like put together a screen for you or prepare the meeting and such will be Nuri.
Okay.
She also has a blog where she reviews books and decks. So this is going to kind of tie into her blog, give her material to review for that. So I am excited and grateful that she is going to be doing that starting January. So those are the book club announcements. There is no poll at the present moment, but can I make one? Yes.
I
Okay.
will say though, while you're looking at that, I already have 78 Degrees of Wisdom, but I'm probably just gonna end up gifting that book to a friend.
Yeah.
Because I want the bundle. And since I
Yeah.
already have that book, yeah, I'm just gonna give it to somebody or like donate it or what have you. So yeah.
Yeah. Listen, give it to a friend and invite them to join us.
Oh yeah.
For those of you who are here gratis, for everybody else, it's just $9.99 a month to join. So, and then they get that 15% off discount every month. So, maybe you have a friend that wants to come chill with us in our
Yeah.
new. Okay, let me see. Can you see the quiz or the poll
I
on
just saw it.
screen? Okay. Okay, good.
Yeah.
You voted. Okay, got it.
Yeah.
Bam. Okay, cool. So those are the announcements about book club. I'm excited for next year. I have a ton of things to read personally, and I'm praying that not administering the meetings is going to give me the ability to read the book club books and the other things I'm
Oh,
trying to
okay.
read as well. So I'm in my Saraswati this year. Okay.
Amen.
God is a knowledge year. It's all about packing this
Mm-hmm.
brain with, ammo, bullets of knowledge, as they said, and don't be a menace. Okay, so other than that, we can get into it. I've got some discussion points up for us, but obviously we can lead the conversation any direction that we wanted. But I kind of wanted to start out with talking about like what is all the ruckus about this book because I got the impression following Juliet and things like that, that there's some controversy about this book and about the
Really?
idea, yeah, about like, I guess reviews on Amazon. I should have done more research. I need to go do more research. But at least what I've heard from like Juliet's page and stuff like that is like, people reviewing, basically like not liking the idea of decolonizing your practice or maybe taking to heart or
Wow.
issue with some of the things
Oh,
she's saying.
what's that?
I don't
All
know.
right.
I mean, the colonizer doesn't want you to talk about decolonizing. So,
I mean, amen. But also, I didn't know that was such a controversial topic. Like,
yeah. Well, yeah, that's why I wanted to like bring it up because I am curious to see what other people thought or like what the complaint might be, but I wanted to also kind of go into the book as a blank slate and just read it myself. And even though I'm only like a third or less than half of the way through, I haven't heard anything that I take real issue with
exactly.
myself. And I feel like the one thing I will say that I was like, oh, you know what? I do kind of understand maybe what's happening is the way that Juliet talks about other practices and like the new age like practices that are taking advantage of people and stuff like that. If that's you or if you're a part of a movement that looks like that, you might get kind of triggered and feel called out. You know
well,
what
girl,
I'm
isn't that
saying?
the point?
Well, I mean, but
Isn't
you
that
don't
the
think
point?
anything, but if it's you, you don't think anything's wrong with that. Like I heard a little piece of advice that has been like blowing my mind.
Mm-hmm.
Because it's been blowing my mind because I consider myself to be a non-judgmental person personally.
Mm-hmm.
But this little like tip made me be like, oh, actually, maybe I could like work harder at that.
Mm-hmm.
But basically, what it said was anytime you feel like you're judging somebody, ask yourself, what would it take? What would your circumstances in life have to be to make you behave that way? And that's been really like helping me out a lot. And so I was asking myself that question, like when it comes to the people that she's describing who have these very expensive retreats that, primarily cater to white people and like BIPOC
Mm-hmm.
have access and things like that. I was like asking myself if I was somebody like that, whether I was a white person leading a retreat like that, or I was, because she also talked about BIPOC retreats, but everybody's white and it's very expensive.
Yeah.
So she talked about both. And I I would be probably triggered by her talking about it on either side because one, if I'm indigenous or I'm BIPOC and I'm doing this, I feel like isn't this helping? Like
Mm-hmm.
hello, like yes, let me have these, reparations basically. Like, yes, absolutely. Let me charge wealthy white people a lot of money
Thousands of
to
dollars.
experience my cultures, whatever. But you know what I'm saying? Like, so I could see how they would be like, hey, don't come for us. But if I was a white person leading these, like I've listened to a lot of white folks that have practices that are very expensive or that seem prohibitive or whatever, and
Mm-hmm.
usually their argument is it's usually women,
Mm-hmm.
and it's usually about um tied into the conversation of like knowing your worth, knowing your value, being able to charge your worth and things like that. And so I could see how they would be annoyed by anybody coming for that too, because in their minds,
Mm-hmm.
um, at least the ones that are literally that are not trying to scam, like obviously the ones that are just like, I'm just gonna make a bunch of money, but the ones who
Okay.
really feel like they're doing something good for the world and that this is like about charging their value and charging their worth, I could see why they would be like antagonistic to that argument. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. I guess when you put it that way, I can somewhat understand. I guess just from where I am in like my position in life, it just seems like she's saying to certain people the game is sold and not told. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So for those of us that are BIPOC and that are charging thousands of dollars to have the white folks come experience the culture, the game is sold and it's not told. So you got to pay to play.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
I get that, but from that other perspective, I mean, I guess I can have a little bit more understanding as well, because I mean, the way that sometimes these spiritual movements, yes, the way that these spiritual movements can go sometimes, especially when you're a person of color, it can almost kind of lean you more towards food. In a minute, buddy. It can lean you more so towards looking at white people or people that aren't BIPOC in like a very negative light. And that in essence leans more on the other side of the Likert scale as well. So I'm trying to understand, but I really didn't see anything controversial about her, at least even talking about it. Even though she put her beliefs into that, like you shouldn't be doing this, you shouldn't be doing that. I mean, it's wrong on both ends because it excludes people they can't afford, and now we're participating in mass consumerism and we're buying into the system. Yes, but also we all live in the society.
Yeah.
We got to make money somehow. So I guess it was to trigger or to have people think about ways to maybe, if you're going to charge that, maybe we can do something for the people that can't, that still allows them access instead of just excluding them altogether. So I get what she's trying to say. And again, I don't see where this is controversial, but again, my stance in life, my economic status in life, like, girl, I didn't hear or see anything wrong with what she said. But like you said, if I put myself in those situations as best as I can kind of see where that would be controversial, but also no.
But also
not.
No.
She said what she said, and amen.
Right, that's the end of it. No, that's funny. Yeah, that's what I was figuring. So I was like just trying to kind of put my finger on what was challenging about what she was saying, because I do think that her tone is challenging. It is very interesting also listening to it be read because it's in her voice. So so she is kind of like challenging people, I think. But that like stuff like that. One thing that I really do enjoy, and I guess it's just because it's aligned with the way that I teach things, you know how much I emphasize the why. Why are we doing things? Let's not do things just because we read them in a book, someone did them on YouTube. Why would this benefit my craft, my practice? And she seems to approach everything from that perspective as well. In fact, she even said something very like that. And I was like, that's kind of like what I say. But she said something about like what you are doing, like bridges the connection between the why and the how. And I was like, yes, exactly. We have a lot of how and a lot of what out there, but not necessarily enough why or encouragement to ask that question, because ultimately the answer of why is going to be individual, but like encouraging people to ask why to do things in certain ways is limited. So this is the type of book that I enjoy at this stage of my practice, I think, because I have enough like recipe books and how to practice this way and and I try not to make it like I'm so like advanced kind of thing, but it's just like I'm in a different stage of my practice, and so I enjoy things that are more in alignment with talking about what it's supposed to do. So she divides the book up into like chapters that have like areas of concentration. What were there any of these so far and what you've read that have stood out to you, or that you've really enjoyed like her perspective on?
It was the spiritual bypassing chapter that I really enjoyed, because I didn't do the math that like you could spiritually bypass your own self. You don't even need people to do that for you because your brain will do it itself. I was like, go ahead and highlight that. But yes, the spiritual bypassing chapter was one of my favorites because it made me think, like, in essence, how much do you gaslight your own self? How much do you let yourself kind of live in the woo, so much so that you don't think about how things affect other people, how it affects yourself, how much you downplay yourself, and things like that. So that was a real eye-opening chapter. I really wish that a book like this would have been available to me when I first started, because this book is actually really instrumental for what I'm reading as far as like deconstructing whatever religion or whatever place that you're coming from outside of a spiritual practice. Like, she really does get into the meat and potatoes of what it constitutes to engage in a spiritual practice, regardless of what you're doing, whether it's Wiccan, whether it's left-hand path, right-hand path, all the other multitudes of paths that are out there. Even if you have a muggle friend, because honestly, I would give this to a regular person and say, here, read.
Yeah.
So I've been enjoying what I have been reading, even though some of it, before we get to like the journal prompts and all the fun stuff, it has somewhat been challenging. Like, because we do need to think about how we practice and engage in these types of ways. And you need to deprogram some of that stuff before you actually get into the making the spell jars, doing the honey jars, doing all the herbs and oils and potions and things. This is not sexy work.
Mm-hmm.
So I've really been enjoying it for what it has to offer and what it has to say. And I appreciate her voice and her even being willing to talk about things like that. Because I don't see very many authors even talking about ethics in a book. And in particular, how you're going to run a retreat or how you're going to do this or how you're going to do that. So, I've really been appreciating it. The only thing I don't like is like the hashtaggy.
Oh my God, I was gonna say that too. I was gonna be like, is it petty to bring it up? Because like I understand. Here's the thing. I'm 37. Okay. I think that this makes me an older millennial. I think is what I'm called. Okay. So
I'm right there with you. I'm about to be 35 this next year.
Okay, so I think Juliet is about our age. I'm not 100% sure, but I don't think she's much older than I am if she is. She mentioned in the book that she was about to be 40, I think, and this was about like a year or two ago. So she's like, it's probably like 40 now. And so I think that makes her an older millennial as well. You have to forgive us because, we're trying to stay cool. We're trying to stay we're doing our best to hang on, but the Gen Zers have come along and made a lot of shit not cool real fast. And they're on to something different. It's Riz now. And like, everything's new and we're just doing our best. So she was dropping hashtags because there was a time where like talking in hashtags and stuff was okay. It was a brief period of time, but a lot of us don't know that it's past. So you have to forgive us.
Yeah, my reasoning, I was like, okay, well, maybe this is for like someone that's like younger than me, maybe in like their mid to late 20s, possibly early 30s, someone just turned 30, and this is how they speak. And she's trying to speak their speak to get them to actually read the book. Like,
I think you're going in the other direction. I think it's the older. I think the young kids are done with hashtags. They don't even, they're on something else now.
I think that was my reason. I was like, it's for the young people. Like,
no, that's what we think. That's what but I think they're off that. They're on something else already. And so I was like, I forgive you, Juliet, because I would probably be doing something like this too. But that part was a little bit annoying.
It was much. It was a bit much.
A little much. Yeah, just because it was a lot of it.
Yes. I was like,
it's a lot of it. Yeah.
I'm just gonna pretend like it's not there at this point. I'm just gonna...
maybe like maybe her chapter titles could be hashtag something.
Yes.
Instead of just like slapping us with it every few sentences or so. But so that was interesting. The sections that I liked were on I don't know if it was a whole section, if it was a part of a section, but she was talking for a while about self-realization and the true self and how that's different from the self we identify with, the body and the mind. And that's always going to be like a big topic for me because that's actually what the first two modules of the Better Witch coaching program are about, recognizing, and unveiling that self and connecting to what your true self is. I really like that being included because I genuinely know that it was that understanding for me that made magic and spellcasting like a real thing. It was when I met my true self and understood that like, oh, I am just this body and mind for like one hot second. I am actually
Mm-hmm.
something else. Uh,
Mm-hmm.
that made magic no longer this like question mark, weird, invisible thing, but just
Mm-hmm.
thing that only one part of me is like able to do.
Mm-hmm.
My physical self is just limited in ways that part of me is not. And understanding what part of me that actually works magic was big. So I was glad that she tackled that. And then the section that I was just finishing up with is on boundaries. Um,
Mm-hmm.
and that one just definitely rang deep because here I am enjoying Christmas on my lonesome. This is
Mm-hmm.
definitely a boundary that I set with a family that, has a big Christmas breakfast and Christmas is a whole to do.
Mm-hmm.
And just realizing that, like, hey, I don't have the energy output, I don't have the resources to expel in order to do that. And I'm not going to let anybody's like guilt trips or, you know,
Mm-hmm.
the fact that they miss me or anything like that stop me from doing what's better for me, which is to like take this time. And so I was definitely resonating with that. And yeah, overall, I felt like, um, at least so far, the sections that she's challenging or bringing up, like you said, are considerations that you want to have when you are at a stage in your practice where self-development and like really understanding
Mm-hmm.
yourself and being a spiritual being and also being a social being, because one of
Mm-hmm.
the sections was on social justice and being socially
Yep.
active and why that's tied in with having a spiritual practice. So this is really for a witch who's at that stage where it's like, yeah, I want to know how to work spells and all of that stuff, but there's something deeper that I also want to understand, and I also want to use this as a way of like being a quote unquote better person, whatever that means.
Mm-hmm.
And I find that like an interesting approach because I distinctly remember one day listening to KPPR, Pure Pagan Radio.
Okay.
Did you know we have a radio station?
No, I did not.
It's great for listening to in the car because it's a mix of talk radio and music.
Okay.
And they'll have like random like 10-minute meditations, or they'll have a little 5-minute story about the goddess Freya. They'll have
Hmm.
like pagan history, and then they'll sprinkle it in with like pagan songs and stuff, so you'll get to like know the Wiccan songs that you hear at festivals and things.
Okay.
Yeah, and there's a couple of like Wiccan rock bands and rappers out there, so like they have like,
Okay.
yeah, check it out. KPPR is actually really cool. I was really glad I found it. It was on Apple Radio. I was like,
Oh,
you know,
okay.
check it out. We have a radio station. It's like NPR, but for pagans.
Okay.
It's great. Yeah, on KPPI they have talks about things like this. But I think that the book really does a good job of like taking you deeper into your spiritual practice
Yes.
and how to live a lifestyle. And oh, the thing I heard on KPBR was this, they have these like almost like op-ed pieces where people
Mm-hmm.
talk about their views on things. And this one guy had a piece where he was specifically talking about how witchcraft is not a spiritual like tool, and it's not a spiritual path, like how witchcraft has nothing to do with spirituality and da, 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 da.
Mm-hmm.
And I was like, I don't
And
think
I'm
I
not
agree.
sure.
I don't agree with that. I can understand why it might not be for a lot of witches who are just not interested in that, but I certainly think in my life that the two have gone hand in hand. And learning more about witchcraft has opened me up to more to like how the universe works in my perspective, which is
Mm-hmm.
basically kind of what I think spirituality is basically your own concept of how the universe works and where you fit in it. That's your spirituality. Um,
Mm-hmm.
and I actually think witchcraft can be used as a spiritual healing tool and like a tool to deepening your spirituality. So if I could like go on the program to challenge him, I would just be like, read this. And
Yeah.
this is perhaps what, this is how you would take learning the craft and becoming a more spiritual person like together.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, and they have whole subsections, like they have like high magic and low magic, which, supposedly the low magic, which I don't like those terms, but I'm just using them just for lack of a replacement or whatever. But
Yeah.
that's, to help you with your everyday, getting money, getting a house, having a lover, having, just all the things that your human needs in order for you to even attempt to even conceptualize higher concepts of like what it means to have a soul, to engage with that soul, to speak to your higher self, to engage with deities, which would be like your high magic ceremonial
Yeah.
chaos magic, those kind of subsections. So it can be used to better yourself spiritually. That's not what we go into it for a lot of the times. It's I need money, I need to pay my rent, I need to pay my bills, I need to make sure my child is okay. I have to do the human things first before I can even begin to try to take care of myself as a soul or as a being outside of a body.
Yeah.
So yeah, I definitely agree.
Yeah. Yeah. I think for me, like in general, well, I think first of all, I started my journey really young.
Yes.
So there's just the trajectory of time that has
Mm-hmm.
just like brought me to I'm gonna try different things and explore different things. I think after a while you're gonna be like, I wonder why this works. Let me just
Mm-hmm.
keep digger deeping. Like eventually that's just gonna happen. But also I think kind of just like the type of person that I am, I'm just the type to want to know like why something works. I think
Mm-hmm.
because, and I've said this on the podcast before, but like I don't do well with like beliefs. And the whole concept of a belief is irritating to me because a belief is something that you are openly admitting that you do not know, but you decided to be completely convicted in anyway. I mean, that's what a belief is. If you
Mm-hmm.
knew something, then you wouldn't believe it, you would just know it. And my like major character flaw is that I'm a know-it-all. And like I need to know stuff. Believing is not cool with me. Um,
Okay.
and so that's gonna make me the type of witch that is not gonna want to just do stuff and not be able to explain to people like how it works or why it works. You know what I'm saying? Like if people are
Mm-hmm.
like, why do you cast magic? I can't be like, I don't know. Sometimes I light candles and things come true. Da, da, da. Like I'm the know-it-all type that needs to be like, well, let me explain to you how this is actually scientifically already proven. I have to have like all the answers. So I think it's natural for me to pursue things even like this from that like kind of perspective. And
Mm-hmm.
this book is a good roadmap for um, people like that, basically.
Mm-hmm.
Want to know why does this work? Like, why is it like this?
Yeah.
The exercises are helpful too. I haven't done any of them, but listening into the action steps and the different exercises that she like outlined and numbered. A lot of them I was like, okay, yeah, I can see. Yes, that's good. That is a question we should ask. That is yeah.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. See, I am somewhat of the opposite. I am a jump head. If I'm interested in something, I will jump into it first, and then I will find out the mechanics of why things work later. Because it's just, do I do the thing? Does it feel right? Okay, we keep doing the thing. It still feels right. Okay, now we need to figure out how and why it all works. It reminds me of how I like got into tarot. I watched a couple readings, I got a reading, and I was like, oh, okay, I'm gonna try it now. Buy a deck of cards, buy 3 decks of cards, buy all the decks, whatever. And then it's like, oh, okay, this is a whole system. I wonder how this works now. Now we go buy all the books. So I work because I'm an Aries. So I work a lot based off of vibes. I'm a vibes girl. And then I work backwards. So I
Right,
have
right.
to make sure that it feels right first. And then, oh, okay, this is just what happened. This is why it works, because this is how it works. This is a system. This is what it does. This is the scientific connotation, or you can read this. So yeah, I work backwards.
Got it.
Yeah.
Yeah. But this is still helpful because, and so I think like either direction we work is really all about, I think you'll take the most away from this book if, if developing yourself is a part of your goals as a practitioner,
Mm-hmm.
yeah, I think is how it would come down to that,
Mm-hmm.
like usefulness. So I'm excited. I'm going to still listen to the second half of the book. I have to go out of town tomorrow, so I'll be on the train for a little bit. So
Okay.
I'm going to listen to it on my travels and
Where are you
finish it
headed?
up. Well, I'm actually going to like up the Hudson to
Okay.
Ossining, New York.
Okay.
Yes, yes. So just for the afternoon, but I gotta leave early. But the train ride's like 45 minutes. So that'll be a good chunk, another like 2 hours basically of the book.
Okay.
That'll be good. I'll get a lot of it
I
done.
got I got a lot of reading done while I was with my family. So once I put my kid to bed and like showered and we were like in our room for the night, I
Yeah.
would like just leave the little small light on, and that's how I got some of my reading done. So I was like, I'm not gonna not read. And if you
Well,
find the book, you not okay.
I'm glad we ended the year with a short one,
Yes.
nothing too crazy to end the year off. How has your 2023 been? It has been, I was telling my husband that I feel like most years I get to this part of the year and I'm like, oh my God, this year flew by. I don't feel
Mm-hmm.
that way this year.
Really?
I do not feel that way this year. I feel like, oh my Lord, 2023. It's
It took forever.
Yeah, but I think it was just because I had all of the second year struggles of a small business. So
Oh,
you
okay.
have all that growth that happens, but not necessarily staff to take care of it or cash to pay people, so you
Mm-hmm.
have more work, but not necessarily more hands and stuff like that. So that was hard. So I think that's what made 2023 feel like it was a lot for me.
2023 went by pretty fast only because my primary job is being a parent. So anytime you're dealing with the school system or just dealing with an developing child and doctor's appointments and doing all of the rigmarole, it makes it go by, and extracurricular activities and stuff. All right, I fixed it. So yeah, it went by fast just because I was parenting, had my head down parenting through most of it.
Yeah, so that just
So
made it fly.
yeah, so when this time of year comes for me, I'm tuckered. I'm out. I ain't got no more. I'm out, boss.
Yeah.
Look, yeah. His dad was like, "You look like such a Grinch." I'm like, "Dog," because I've been up since 11 p.m. wrapping gifts and putting stuff together, and I'm gonna have to turn around and help him play with it and like do
The
all the
thing,
fun, happy things.
be
I'm tired,
present.
boss.
Yeah, you
I'm
got to be
tired.
present. No, well, did you see all of the like sexy Grinch costumes going on, like the Grinches with like thongs on? You should have got one of
Yes.
those because then you could be under the mask. No one would know. You could be cranky on purpose.
Yes.
But if you wanted to act up, you could
Babe, now I'm gonna have to look it up because
next year.
I have regular Grinch pajamas, the whole mom thing. But yeah, now I'm gonna have to find those because the Grinch
Yeah.
is literally my favorite character for Christmas.
I
Yeah.
was I haven't seen a Grinch reel that hasn't cracked me up yet. So
Yes.
yeah, like they've all been really funny, whether they're funny and like sweet, like the ones at like Disney World with the kids, like little
Mm-hmm.
or it's like genuinely like grouchy Grinches, or the for whatever strange reason slutty Grinches, because that's a thing now. They're
Yeah.
indulgent and stuff backing it up. All hilarious. So I definitely think that would be a good way to go.
Yes, I'm here for it. I am here for it.
Yeah. So, what are you most excited about in 2024?
I am most excited because it's my mom answer. I'm most excited to see my kid continue to grow, see his personality continue to show up, and things like that. That's what I'm most excited for as a mom. As a person, outside of being a parent, I'm most excited for what am I excited for? I'm most excited for myself and where this journey is gonna take me as far as like my spiritual practice. Because it seems like it's changing and moving in a way now that I can be more of myself in. Because like as you've seen throughout the year, I have been struggling trying to find like the words of what it is that I practice. And now that I've landed on one that seems like it most befits, now I'm just excited to see like where that goes and how that evolves or how I get to sit in that. So yeah, that's gonna be fun.
Yeah, I think that's exciting. I know that like feeling, of being like, oh, okay, this is my spot. This is where I'm going to settle for right now. Like, let me get cozy here. It's really, really helpful. I think especially like in today's world where we have access to so much information, it can just be incredibly overwhelming to have, first of all, to have multiple like areas that you're being pulled towards. But certainly to have like none, that's almost worse because then it's just like, oh my God, you could be doing anything and everything and learning everything and anything. And when you have a spot where you're like, okay, I feel good here, all of that noise falls away and you have, a clear path to like, okay, let me look up the such and such version of this or what's the concept here. Just it gives you somewhere clear to be. And that is helpful. And you can definitely like just pick one for the sake of picking one, just to like narrow down your life. But when you actually settle on one that truly feels right, it's really nice.
It does. It feels really good. And now I don't have to get rid of my Bible.
Right. Oh my goodness. I love my Bibles. I jacked one from my mom. She gave me attitude about it, but I explained to her that, like, look, lady, you're a little bit of a pack rat, and the Bible has already gotten damaged by like my niece with some crayons and some other stuff. Um, give it to me. It's like a family Bible. It has my mom and dad's name like engraved on the bottom and like our birth dates written inside and stuff. And it's like a big brown one. It's not real leather, but it like is supposed to look like one like that. Um, and it was like on the floor under my like crackhead brother's bed. And I was like, I'm taking this. And she was like, no, that's my good Bible with the big letters and the red words. And I was like, no, I'll get you another one. I'm taking this. It's not being treated with like reverence. So I feel you. I enjoy very much as well that I get to keep my Bibles and use them.
Exactly. Use them in the way that fits me best.
Yeah. Gotta use mine tonight. I am so okay. So when it comes to like what will sometimes be called like baneful magic, like banishment, things like that. I'm Wiccan. I choose to be Wiccan. I know people make fun of it. It's all fluffy, fluffy, but I like
it's a whole bashing thing. It's like being Christian.
They love bashing the Wiccans. And look, I get it to some extent, whatever. But I like that Wiccans are about the love and light. I do feel very strongly that if we are capable of creating reality, I totally get that there is negative and low vibration in the world. But if I want to see a world that doesn't have negative and low vibration, I don't understand how putting that into the world is supposed to create that. Does that make sense? Like I see a lot of chicks on, I'm going to say chicks, it's mostly chicks who are like, my ancestors don't play about me. I ain't all love and light. I'm gonna come get you today. And they have this very like aggressive attitude, about their magic, where it's like, oh, I'll curse
Mhm.
it in a minute, like blah, 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 blah. And um, their argument is often, well, there isn't just good in the world. People are doing negative. So I've got to be able to like do negative back to them. And I can understand that from the perspective of like retaliation and stuff like that. But
Mhm.
if you do understand that magic is real, you do understand that energy is real. So if you don't want that to be the case anymore, you are capable of doing that just as much as you're capable of like hexing your enemies. You're also capable of creating a world where you have none. And that is
Okay.
my reasoning. I know that, not everyone might agree with that, but that is my reasoning for why I try to stay on the love and light side, because I'm creating the world that I want to be and not just being responsive and reacting to the one that I've got. Because I came here to change it. That
Mhm.
being said, all of that loving, beautiful shit that I just said, my upstairs neighbors are about this close.
Girl, mine
This
too.
close.
Mine
These
too.
people, when I tell you, I have almost called the cops in the
Oh,
last couple of months, and like, fuck 12. You know what I'm saying? I don't do the cops, okay? But this, I'm talking
yeah.
about somebody who was trying to kick down their door at 4 o'clock in the morning. I woke up and
No.
their doorknob was in front of mine. Like,
Well,
I'm talking about, this guy was trying to kick in the door for like 30 straight minutes upstairs.
Jesus.
And I came close to calling the cops because this guy usually has his kids up there on the weekends. It was just like, these people are crazy. Somebody busted in their window off the fire escape. I'm pretty sure it's his ratchet ass
No.
baby mama. Like, they're
Oh God.
because it's like, it's not even like, party noise. It's like crimes. Like, it's like, it's like shit
These are
going.
degenerates.
Yeah, these are degenerate people. Like, this is unsafe for them to be in this building. I don't like them at all. The guy who lives up there is always fucking drunk. Sometimes I run into him coming in the building at 8, 9 o'clock in the morning with 40s and six packs of
Oh
beer. Like,
gosh.
just hot mess people. And I was just getting to my limit. There's this one last hot foot candle at the shop. And I mean, I just bought new inventory, but like in this batch, there's one last hot foot candle, and it's been looking at me for days. It's been looking at me for days.
Please,
Just like,
please, please.
just being like, come on now, let's do it. And I came so close to doing it. I brought the candle home, right?
Mm-hmm.
That very night, here they go, making noise. But oh, well, yeah, making noise, playing music. So they're playing music, and I have a television that I wanted to hang up. So I was like, you know what? I'm gonna hang up this TV. They're not gonna hear it because they're making a bunch of noise. So who cares? So I'm drilling or whatever. And then I get to the part where I have to hammer. And
Mm-hmm.
I was like, bang, bang, bang. And I hear like stomp, stomp, stomp. And
I know not.
I
I
was
know
like,
you do not have the right. I know
I was like,
you are not.
I was like, is that a coincidence? I was like, that's just weird. Okay, anyway. So I go to hammer the next thing, stomp, 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 louder in the same like beat as the hammer. I'm like, what the fuck? So I'm like going about my business. I do it again. Then I hear she starts stomping and she's like, it's Friday night. Da, 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 da. And I realized that she thought I was banging at her because of the noise.
Oh,
So I ran upstairs and I was like, girl, I'm not banging at you. I'm trying to hang my television. And she was like, oh, ha, ha, da, 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 da. So we exchanged names and phone numbers. She texted me happy holidays, and now we're friends. And
nice.
so they are protected. They are protected. Spirit intervened and protected them because they were about to be homeless for the holidays. Okay.
Not.
That was
Come
about,
on, homeless for the
listen,
holidays.
I couldn't take, I was like, I know it's the dead of winter, it's the holidays, but y'all got to get the hell up out of here. I can't do this no more. Um, but saved them. Now they're saved. And then I find out later that day that my homegirl's ex, who is a real creep piece of crap human being, has
Yeah,
been
we.
doing this thing where like every couple of years she'll randomly run into him in some neighborhood where like he shouldn't be, and he'll just like, he won't say anything to her, but he'll just walk by her aggressively to get her attention and then like look back to make sure that she sees it's him on some creepy shit. I don't trust this guy.
Very.
I don't like it. And I already had plans to see her. And I was like, when I'm coming over, I'm bringing some candles.
Amen. Because
No.
we're not doing that.
Yeah. So then it all made sense. And I was like, oh, hot foot candle. Now I understand.
Your efforts are best served over here.
Yes. Hashtag Hex Hector. We're getting rid of that douchebag.
Yes. Hashtag Hex Hector.
I was like, girl. I said, I'll be over. I'm bringing candles. She was like, oh my God, thank you. Yes. I was like, because that's some creep shit.
Yes, very much so. Speaking of homegirls who have weird exes, so my homegirl just had a baby. Her baby is but a couple of months old, and baby father didn't come over or wish them a happy holiday, didn't bring the kid anything, things like that. And I'm just like, dog. I mean, I understand that to work him would, in essence, in his sphere of influence, would influence my friend and her family. So I'm trying to hold my tongue. But also, girl, if you don't pull out this Bible and do Psalm 91 and everything in your home better be protected. Matter of fact, do you need some black salt, friend? Because he can just like not come over. He can just like not
Wait,
be
so
there.
he's coming over?
Yeah, he's coming over, but when he is over, he's not really being as helpful as he should be as a dad. And she has an older daughter that is around 3, and this 3-year-old has gotten attached to this person. So her 3-year-old will be like, "Where's such and such? Where's Papa?" But he's there, but he's not there. So he's leaving that gaping hole for those 2 kids, and I'm like, I mean, we can do something about it, but hey. You just let me know what you won't do. You let me know what you won't do, friend. You just let me know. But then also too, I know my friend as well, and my friend can be a lot of bit of a vindictive person. So I don't necessarily want to do anything that tips the scales too far, just because I know how her personality is. And
Okay, well,
this,
you must have picked up on what I was thinking because I was definitely like, Psalm 91. I don't know. We don't need to protect her from him. We need to like make him bow to her submission. But maybe homegirl doesn't need all of that.
Yeah, because she will take it. She will take it far. So I'm like, maybe we can just encapsulate you all, so that way what he does not affect you all. And then
You
if
know
it
what
goes
I would
farther,
do? I would well, because he doesn't really have like outside activity that endangers them. He's not like a gangbanger or some shit like that, right?
no, he works like at the shipyard. He makes pretty decent money. So yeah, we got to keep him intact because he need to still make money because he need to pay child support for the
Right,
kid.
right. I would actually look for some verses that have to do with like getting paid back your debts. Like
Oh yeah.
may all your debts be paid back, or
Mm-hmm.
find passages related to some Bible stories where like somebody's debts were repaid in excess,
Mm-hmm.
or something like that. Because I think that's probably the best type of influence to have over him, to keep him in a place of feeling like this is something that I am supposed to be paying forward, and keep him
Mm-hmm.
like just doing what he's supposed to be doing. Because sometimes protection work, like it's always helpful, but the nature, like when I think of Psalm 91, I do think of black salt. And when I do think of black salt, I think of more protecting from harmful elements. So
Mm-hmm.
if he were doing stuff that was like, could bring danger to the home or whatever, then I would use that with him. But you want him to come around. You want him to watch the kids. You want him to come do some dishes and stuff like that. So you really want to just put him into a place of feeling kind of indebted, to the family, or at least feeling like paying off his debt is a noble, thing to do.
And see, that's why we be needing to come together for stuff. Cause yeah.
This is how
Psalm
we
91 is a treasure trove of mine. I use that
yes. It's a
on the
beautiful
regular.
go-to. It's a beautiful go-to. It's a beautiful go-to. But we want him to come around.
Yeah, you're right. You're right. Even though she be talking like she never want to see the man again, but I'm like, well, you have a
Yeah,
4-month old. She needs to see him.
that's
So
Gab. That's Gab.
I
She's
know.
mad. Women be mad. That's cap.
I said that to my best friend, my longest standing friendship. I've been friends with her since like the 5th grade. And she's like, your friend sounds like there's more there that she's not telling you. And I'm like, you're right. And it could be, but it is her business. And just whenever she's ready to talk, I will be here to listen. But also, I'm tired of hearing you complain about the man. So we're going to do something about it or we're going to keep crying. Which
Mm-hmm.
one?
Yeah. No, I had to like I didn't want to be that person when I was going through my divorce. So there were like periods of time because my whole process took a long time.
Yeah.
So and then it was COVID. There was just a lot going on. So it was a long process. So there were like periods of times where my homegirls would be like, "Hey, how are things going? What's up?" And I would literally just be like, I'm not going to talk about it because there hasn't been no updates and I'm still here. So I don't want to bore y'all with the same nonsense. So
Yeah.
I'll let you know when I've moved to another stage or something has happened. But I did not want to be that friend that every time you talk to them, they're complaining about the same person, but they're not leaving, they're not doing anything to like change the situation. So yeah, I was like, I don't want to be that person, Lord.
Yeah.
Don't do that.
And I've been that person. So I have empathy, but also I got my own stuff going on, ma'am. I can't,
Mhm.
you know, you just be trying. I be trying to be there as best as I can. Because, like I said, I understand what being in that place is like. Because I was there for a couple of years with my son's father, so I really understand like what she is going through. But also, there are things that you still must do, madame.
Yeah.
And complaining about him is not always one of the things.
Facts. Well, listen, like you said, this book would be helpful for people even if they weren't on a witchy journey. So shoot, you might have to slip this under her Christmas tree and be like, "Hey girl,
Okay. Like,
give it
hey,
some self-love."
let's read this. Let's pray. Let's get out our Bible and let's read this here. I see this for you. Because funny story. So me and her are big on Halloween. So I went up there to visit her this past Samhain Halloween season. We went on one of those colonial walks up in Virginia. And we went up there and I had like a clairvoyant type of experience that I think kind of freaked my friend out a little bit.
Mm.
So then she starts asking questions like, oh, what does this mean? What is this crystal? What is this? What is that? So we went to a crystal shop. She got her some stuff, all peachy keen. I gave her a tarot card reading while I was up there. Everything is all good. So she's asking questions that are more spiritual in nature, and I'm grateful for that. So like you said, like I was saying, this is a good book for just anyone. You don't have to have like a wishy practice. So I might go ahead and here, I'm just gonna leave this here for you.
Yeah,
Give it
right.
back to me. You send it back to me when you're done.
Yeah, I enjoyed this. I'm just gonna leave this.
Yeah, gonna leave this here for you. This is
Yeah,
what you need to work on. You
right.
know, she says she wants to work on like protection, peace, and some other word that starts with the letter P. And I'm like, this, when I'm done reading this, this might help you. Give me your
Mhm.
address again.
Mhm.
Send
Yeah.
me your address.
Yeah, yeah. No, this might be helpful. So I'll be listening to the rest of it, like I said, before the end of this month. And then next month's book is The Priestess Path by
Okay.
Stacey DeMarco. And I'm excited to get into that as well as the other things I'm going to be reading. So looking forward to it. January, I think, is going to be a busy month at the shop. No need to go into breakout rooms. Our meeting was our breakout room
Pretty much.
today, right? And your poll results are 4 cauldrons, and I would second that. I would say that so far, the altar within is getting 4 cauldrons out of 5 from us, which I think is pretty good.
Yeah.
January's book is The Priestess Path by Stacey DeMarco. There will be copies available in the shop in the next couple of weeks. And of course, I definitely recommend that everybody get the book bundle so you can save some money and so you can have all 6 books for January through June already at your disposal so you can read at your
Yes.
speed. I think that's really the best benefit of the bundle, aside from the really good
Yes.
discount, is just being able to read at your own speed, read ahead, check out the table of contents of books, you know,
Hmm.
decide if you're going to read it for the month and, all of that good stuff. So I'm really happy that we're able to offer the bundle. The bundle is available in the shop. You're just going to go to books, new books, book club reads, and it's going to be right at the top of the list. If you are a Coven member, the code for December was lights, and you can use that for
Okay.
15% off of your purchase. The books are going to ship out after January 8th,
Okay.
because one of the books, Tarot for the Hard Work,
Oh,
uh,
yes.
yes, we are reading Tarot for the Hard Work by Maria Minis, who is a super cool looking chick.
Okay.
She identifies as a chick. She is. I'm excited because the foreword of the book is written by Rashonda Trumbull, who is somebody that I have followed and who wrote the Numinous Tarot, which we considered. We might read that later
Okay.
in the um,
Okay.
but that book doesn't drop until January 8th. So we got to wait for that one to drop for the distributors to send us all of the books. But all of the book bundles will send out in like the second week of January. The Priestess Path is pretty short. So
Okay,
everybody
cool.
should be able to catch up before the last Sunday of the month. A reminder that book club will be meeting on the fourth Sunday of every month at 7:30 p.m. going into 2024. So slight change from our current meeting time. And
Mm.
meetings are going to be administered by our Coven moderator, Nuri. So get excited for updates from her, emails from her with information about the links. But of course, you'll always be able to find the link in the Coven community event tabs. But she'll also be sending out more information. But go ahead and pre-order your book bundles so we know how many to
Will.
prepare. Yay! So we know how many to prepare for everybody. And if I don't see you guys in some of the things I've got going on, like tomorrow night, I'm going to be live with actually, this is a Coven thing. Oh, so tomorrow I'll be live with just the Coven witches for high tea.
Okay.
Yes. Hi, T.
Yes.
As you guys know, my cannabis journey, I decided to no longer consume on a daily basis. And I allow myself that indulgence on the full moons to help me go within, activate my dreams, do a whole bunch of things. And I like to come live with you guys and enjoy that cannabis in tea form, in smoke form. We chill and we usually do something magical. I answer questions. This time we are going to be taking a tour of my witchy room, which I realize I've never given a tour of.
I know I voted on that, and I was like, we do the planner one a lot, so we're gonna do the. I want to be nosy. What do you have?
Yes.
What are the
Yes.
things?
And somebody who voted in the poll on YouTube was like, why don't we do the witchy room now? And then we could do the planner in January for January's full moon. So
Yes.
that'll be cool because I'll already have it done by then because I got to get it done, before January starts. But
Mm-hmm.
I'll be able to go back and show you guys how I organize my planner to be both my mundane planner and my magical planner,
Okay.
and some other planning tools and things that I use for manifestation and stuff like that. But this time, tomorrow night, we're going to take a little tour of my witchy room and I'm going to maybe do a little bit of cleaning. Uh,
Okay.
Tidying up. It's about time. And yeah, show you some of the things that I try to always keep on hand, how I keep myself organized to make sure I don't run out of stuff that I use often, where I get things that I think are quality or really useful. I'm going to give you guys some fire safety tips because I've got
Yay, because we need those.
yeah,
Let's try to burn my house down.
I've got a couple tips and tricks and things that I think every witch should have that will basically make it so you never have to worry about your candles again. And I'm going to show you guys that stuff. And yeah, we're going to hang out. So I'll see some of you guys tomorrow evening, 7 o'clock, in the Coven feed. And everybody else, I'll maybe see next month in the January book club session, which I do plan on trying to make it to. So hope to see you guys. If you have any questions about book club, you can just drop it in the news feed in the Coven community. And I hope everyone has a beautiful and happy new year.
Same to you. It's gonna feel so good for you being on the other side of like doing the administrative work for the book club. I like that. So
Yes.
I'm sure it'll be like much more fun engaging with the books.
Yes.
Since you don't have to stress so much about what are we gonna talk about, what are the talking points, all those things. So yeah.
Yes, I am looking forward to showing up to a meeting and being like, I didn't read it. Tell me what happened.
You know what?
I've
We
never
got
been
you.
able to do that. I've literally
I,
never been able to do that. To be
I
like,
am my sister's keeper. We will definitely keep you informed.
yes, yes, I'm looking forward to that. So yes, thank you very much. I'm looking forward to it too. And really, even just like Nuri just offering to do it allowed my brain to go into the bundle because I was not even thinking about the bundle.
Yeah,
I was just busy trying to figure out how am I going to do book club for 2024. And as soon as she was like, I'll do that part, my brain was like, oh, we have room for other thoughts. What about a
exactly.
bundle? So I'm glad I got
Exactly.
to do that. Yeah, so if you need any help finding the bundle, I think that's also linked in the news feed. If not in the
Yep.
book club, then it's in the general one. So that should take you right to it. And yeah, have a beautiful new year, everybody. Thanks for being here. Thanks for everybody who is going to check out the replay. And I'll see you all in 2024.
All righty. Peace.
Blessed be.
Blessed
Bye.
be. Bye.